OK, so a London derby to look forward to there. Brendan Rodgers to come in a moment. But first, let's hear from Antonio Conte, who says he hasn't guaranteed Son a starting place.
There are no players undroppable. Because, if I tell this, is only to try to help my players and to try to avoid injuries, to try to have a player at the top of the form and to have a good performance. And if I'm telling this only to protect my players and to give them the possibility to be in every moment at the top.
They've done very, very well last season into the Champions League, and got some very, very talented players. And Antonio, he works how he works, and he's got them very organised, and they have that quality there. So we know it's going to be a really difficult game at whatever stage you went there, whether you're in your best form or not. But like I said earlier, you have to have that bravery. You can't sit back and just let it happen.
Well, it's a difficult time for Leicester. They're bottom of the Premier League table heading into this match. 5 defeats in a row since their draw on the opening day, Shay. What's going wrong there?
I actually feel for Brendan a little bit, if I'm being honest. I think he's a top coach as well. I know I'm saying that a lot maybe with Thomas Frank, but I do believe Brendan's one of the better coaches in the league. And I feel that the rug's been pulled under his feet a little bit, having to sell his best players and not really dip into the transfer market, that much. I think the owner's circumstances have changed, with their business. I think the money's dried up a little bit, and he's had to sort of reshuffle his pack, but not really bring some fresh faces in. But I still look at their squad and the players that they have. They've still got a very good squad. Again, we talk about confidence in football. Them running defeats is like when you go a goal down, it's like shoulders drop, heads go down and go, here we go again. It's very difficult to get out of that. Sometimes you say it's really, when you're a good run, it's brilliant to keep that run going. But when you're in a bad run, it's very difficult to turn the ship around, really. I think Brendan's the right man to do it, but they need to pick up victory very, very soon.
It seems strange, doesn't it, Karen? Because when you look at the Leicester starting 11, there's good players in that squad. So why can't Brendan Rodgers get them winning games?
To be fair, they have had some tough fixtures in that run as well. I think it's what Shay said, it's confidence. And as much as the 11 is really good, I think we covered the game, I think it was against Man United where they lost. There was just no spark to them. And I don't see a spark in the manager either, and for those situations that you just mentioned, those reasons. But I just think I don't see a spark in Brendan Rodgers, and then I don't think that reflects right into the team, and there's no energy at that. And I always think about Leicester of being energised and going at it. Haven't seen it this season.
I was at the Amex for the 5-2 defeat for Leicester, and there were boos at the full-time whistle when Brendan Rodgers came out onto the pitch to thank the away supporters for coming down to the South Coast. Yeah. That's not a good sign. Is he under pressure? Does he have to win this game?
Probably. He's under pressure. I think, as I said before, all managers are under pressure. When you're bottom of the league and haven't won a game this season, then of course you'll be under pressure. But again, they've sold Fofana for big money. Kasper Schmeichel, been a brilliant player, brilliant servant for the club, the captain, a voice, a leader at the back. Danny Ward's come in, not played much Premier League football, so it's there's lots to worry if you're a Leicester fan right now. But I do think he can get it turned around and pick results up.
And they face Spurs and Harry Kane, who loves scoring against Leicester more than any other club. 17 Premier League goals against Leicester. Is that a thing? Can you just have a team that you seem to score more goals against?
Yeah, I think it is. I do believe that. I know myself when I played, I was always thinking, I liked playing against these. And then for some unknown reason, that used to continue. Not too often, though, with me. But with Harry Kane, we know he's a goal-scoring machine. We know he's after the record. But I do think it matters when you play the same team, you seem to keep on that run.
And here we go. We've got his record against Leicester there. 14 appearances, 17 goals. I mean, it's quite something, Shay, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, yeah. We talk about brilliant strikers. He's been a brilliant striker now for a number of years. And as Karen says, he's chasing my old friend Alan Shearer's 260 Premier League goals. And I think he's got a really good chance of surpassing that, But he's, as you say, Karen, he's probably relishing Leicester have scored these many goals. Like, I can't wait for the game, because I don't know if it's a conscious thing or a subconscious thing. You get a good feeling. I know when I played, clean sheet at that stadium last season. I'm going to do it again. You just get that mindset, and he'll be getting into the game at the weekend going, I fancy scoring today. I'm going to score. I always do.
Well, what have you made of Spurs as a whole this season? Because they are unbeaten, but there's been a bit of criticism about their performances. And does it almost feel like for Tottenham fans, it's okay at the minute because they're not losing the games, but will they want to see a performance as well as a result in this?
Well, that would be ideal, having both. But I think for Spurs, they want trophies. And we saw with Aston Villa today, sometimes you've got to do the ugly things to get the results. And like you said, they are getting the results, but it's not as flamboyant or as probably nice to the eye as you'd really like, and the Spurs fans would. But sometimes, like we said, to get the results, you've got to do certain things, and they are finding a formula. I'm sure they can improve, and I'm sure they didn't get the result in Europe just gone, so they need to bounce back and react after that as well. In
the system that Antonio Conte likes to play, you can pretty much guess who's going to start for Tottenham, apart from when it comes to the front three now, because he's got depth in the squad, and he mentioned in his press conference there that Son isn't guaranteed a place in the starting 11. Who do you think he'll start for this game? Do you think Son stays, or do you think
a decision
he
has
drops
to
out?
make. Obviously, if you've paid 60 million for Richarlison, and he's itching to go. He scored a couple last week in the Champions League, so he's raring to go. And Son's proven he's a human being after all, because he's had such an amazing. We always talk about Tottenham, we always talk about Harry Kane. But Son is an unbelievable player, and he's just had a little dip in form, that's all. You know, all players go through it, and it might not be the worst thing if he puts him on the bench at the weekend and starts with Richarlison, gives him that break, just even a mindset break, you know, a reset or whatever. But he's a brilliant player, Son. I love him. He's just so honest and fantastic player. But I mean, go back to Conte, you know, the Italian mindset, sometimes get a goal ahead and then see the result. I had Trapattoni when I was an Irish player. He was our manager, obviously Italian. If we scored, it literally... So the attacking guy would come off, he would put the midfielders in and said, right, 1-0's all we need. We just need, so you're right, Karen, I think Tottenham fans, they want to win trophies. And I think with this guy at the helm, Conte is a brilliant manager as well, so I think he's on the right track.
When you look at the attacking players they have, so many options, who do you think would be best against Leicester? Because it's so hard to say, whoever you drop, they're going to be disappointed, because Kulusevski's been brilliant since he arrived at Tottenham. Richarlison, as Shay pointed out, scored 2 goals in the Champions League last week. And Son's Son and Kane's Kane. So who do you drop?
We definitely play Kane. I would stick with Son. I really would. I know Richarlison's done really well, and I've really liked him, seen him live and come on and made a change at Chelsea. I really liked his performance, and he's on form. But I think you stick with Son. Against Leicester as well, their confidence is low. This might be the game where you go, stick with you, try and get some goals, get those relationships, get your confidence up and build on with that. But there would be fans saying, why'd you keep giving him a chance? You've got other players on the bench doing well. But I would just stick with Son. I'd probably be a bit too loyal, I think. But it's a great headache for a manager to have.
Yeah. Heading into the international break, then, as Karen pointed out, they lost in the Champions League this week, and it was a difficult way to lose a match as well, conceding 2 goals in injury time. How much do they need a win to get them through the international break before they have that North London derby against Arsenal on the other side?
Yeah, so they were poor during the week actually in Europe as well. They were very poor. They deserve. I know there were 2 late goals they conceded, but they didn't deserve anything from the game. But as you say, again, confidence, if they can get back to winning ways against Leicester the weekend, of course, you go away for the 2 weeks. There's a feel-good factor around the football club, and you're going back into the big derby on a high. You don't want to be losing against Leicester and then going, the pressure's really high against your big rivals in Arsenal. So I think they'll get back to winning ways. Feel for Brendan, as I say, but Leicester in a real poor run of form at the minute.